feeling of unease in the lower portion of Manhattan tonight. The building is called One Liberty Plaza. It's a very tall, grayish-black building that is just to the east of where the two World Trade Center towers were. About 2 hours ago, I was brought to ground zero to see the 1,000 to 1,500 workers who are on the scene working at the wreckage. I was told when I was there they were deeply concerned about that One Liberty Plaza building and another building to the south that has a huge hole in it. These are very brave people. They are walking on top of wreckage, and in some cases is 75 feet tall, lifting up heavy metal with the knowledge that two buildings nearby are vulnerable. Well, about 30 minutes after I was there, they started noticing that that One Liberty Plaza building started twisting, and then windows started popping out of the building. Immediately, an evacuation was ordered, and now all 1,000 to 1,500 people have evacuated the area. There is no one at the scene right now participating in the rescue and recovery. In addition, members of the news media who were about 4 or 5 blocks away from the World Trade Center site were told to immediately start moving back a couple of blocks to get farther away from the building. The fear is, and we should make this very clear, there is no evidence this building is coming down. But there is a concern that it could happen. And if the building did come down, and that's still a long shot in my estimation based on talking to people, it could potentially knock down other buildings nearby, creating a very huge problem. And that's why the area has been evacuated. I should tell you, Judy, being at the site, one thing that I must stress, this is a much worse disaster in terms of damage than I ever imagined, even being 4 blocks away. When I got there, we are talking about damage to maybe 100 to 150 businesses that aren't part of the World Trade Center complex, some very substantial. There is debris and damage in a 10-square-block area in each direction from the World Trade Center complex. A morgue has been set up across from the World Trade Center in a damaged Brooks Brothers store. That's where people who have perished have been brought. And there is a center, a triage center, set up in the One Liberty Plaza building. So there might be a concern when you evacuated that building, what happens to the people in the triage center? Well, sadly, there's no one in the triage center because they haven't found any survivors in the past several hours. Judy?
All right, Gary, I have one more question I want to ask you, and as I do, I believe we're going to be able to show our viewers some very unusual pictures from the International Space Station. These are pictures of New York City from space. So that now I'm seeing this for the first time, just as you are. The smoke you're able to see is clearly that coming from that area of lower Manhattan that Gary has been reporting on. Gary, I don't think you're in a position to see this, but it certainly does give us the bird's eye view of the city and just one more idea of the incredible devastation.